Hello everybody, it's Maikito, and before I get into the picks, there was no video for the last couple of days, and that was just because there literally has not been any games. The main European teams are going on international break, which I'm not the biggest fan of because it's better to predict when they play for their clubs since they play with them much more often, and they just go on the break, play with their countries for a game or two, and then go back to their old team. So it's a lot more unpredictable. Those that have been following the channel for a while know that when it comes to international breaks and playing for their teams, it's a lot harder to predict. So I would advise you play lighter, especially in the first day, because you never know how they're gonna play. There's gonna be games up until Tuesday, I believe, and then they'll be off, and then they'll start playing again next weekend. So I did find a couple plays that I did like, so I'll get straight into those. My first play is Bruno Fernandes to go higher than 2 shots assisted, playing at home for Portugal, going up against Croatia. In the Euros over the summer, he had 2+ in 3 out of the 4 games. He's a great passer. He's great at sending through balls. He's great at crossing the ball as well. He's just a great playmaker in general. He's their set piece taker, so he takes their corners as well as their free kicks to cross it in, to try to get those headers in, whether it's Ronaldo, Ruben Diaz, Palinha. There's plenty of people there that can take those headers as well. And not just that, even during open play, there's plenty of people he can pass to that will shoot the ball, such as Ronaldo, Leao, Bernardo Silva, and even Vitinha in the midfield. Last season in the Prem, he averaged 3.29 per 90. So now he's playing against Croatia, who are this time. It's really time for them to decline. We saw it in the Euros how weak they were defensively. They lost 1 game and drew 2. They couldn't win a single game. They conceded 3 to Spain, 2 to Albania, 1 to Italy. And I think at 2.0 is a good mark. He's gonna find his teammates, and I think Portugal are gonna learn from the Euro and improve on how they were playing. So I like this mark. He already had 2+ in 3 out of the 4, playing against a Croatia team that's declining a lot. So I like Bruno Fernandes to go higher than 2 shots assisted. My next prop is Robert Lewandowski to go higher than 2.5 shots, playing away for Poland, going up against Scotland. He started in a 1 Euro game, and that was against France and against a really tough defense. And in that game, he went over and took 5 shots out of Poland's 10 total shots. He took 2 with his right, 2 with his left, and 1 was a header. And then in the 4 league games that he's played so far for Barcelona, he's averaged 4.46 shots per 90. 9 have been with his right, 5 have been with his left, and 3 have been headers. So he's a versatile striker that will shoot no matter where he's given the opportunity from. He'll have good teammates that will pass on the ball, such as Zielinski, Frankowski, Zalewski, and Swiderski, who's also an underrated passer up top next to him. And Scotland gave 20, 11, and 14 shots in the Euro games, so it's not like they're a good defensive team or anything. And this is the best matchup that they're going to have in this group that they have. It's going to be the one where each team is going to try to win that game, so I expect attacking football from both teams. He's in great form. He's Poland's captain, and he's also a penalty taker, so he'll take those shots if he needs to. And Scotland are hotheads, so if they do get a penalty, he will take that as well. And I like the mark at 2.5 for Lewandowski to go higher than 2.5 shots. My next prop is Robin Lenormand to go higher than 2.0 clearances, playing away from home for Spain, going up against Serbia. In the 4 games that he's played so far in La Liga for Atletico Madrid, he's averaged 3.5, and in the league in general last season for Real Sociedad, he averaged 3.2, so he averages over this mark in the league. And if you look at the games that he played in the Euros, he had 2, he had 3, and in that game he only played half of the game, played 45 minutes. He had 0, but that was against Georgia, a weak attacking team. He had 4 and he had 3. And if you look at how many clearances Serbia's opponents had, England had 22, Slovenia had 36, and Denmark had 20. And if a team like England can get 22, he can get at least 2 of like 20 that they get. Even if Spain have less, like 15 or something, I expect them to get at least 2 of them. And Serbia's playing at home, so they're going to be much more attacking as well. I do not expect Serbia to take the lead and then play defensive. If anything, Spain's going to take the lead, and then Spain will be defense, especially towards the end of the game, and Serbia will be desperate to score. So I like this mark. He's 6'2", and he wins 93% of his aerial duels. So if he gets those chances, he's going to get them. I think 2 is too low for a team like Serbia, who's going to be desperate to try to score. So I like Lenormand to go higher than 2 clearances. My next prop is Victor Gyökeres to go higher than 2.5 shots, playing away from home for Sweden, going up against Azerbaijan. He's played 4 league games so far, and he has been on fire. He's averaged 6.5 shots in the league, and he scored 7 goals in those 4 games. And last season in the league, he averaged 3.5, so it's not like it's just He doesn't shoot. He's a shooter. He played them away in November, went over with 4. Played them at home in March, went over with 4. And in those games, Sweden took 18 and 15 shots respectively. So Azerbaijan is not good defensively. And the reason why I feel like this prop is lower than what it should be is because they're away from home. In my opinion, this prop should be like at 3, if not 3.5. And I like this prop. He's a shooter. He's going to take those shots. He's in great form. He's going to get passes from Kulusevski, Elanga, and even Isak. I just think it's a good mark. I expect him to start, if anything, over Isak. I expect both of them to start, but if it's only one, I like Gyökeres to start better instead of Isak. He's in much better form, and I just like this prop. I like Gyökeres to go higher than 2.5 shots. My next prop is Emiliano Martinez to go lower than 2.5 saves, playing at home for Argentina, going up against Chile. He played in the Copa America, or they played each other in the Copa America. He had 3 from Chile, took 3 shots, and all 3 of them were on target, and I do not expect that to happen again. And that was an away game for both teams. But now they're in Argentina, which is going to be an even better defensive matchup for Argentina. They had the best defense in the Copa America, only conceding 1 goal in 6 games. And he went under this mark in 4 out of 6 games. The one game that he conceded or had more than those saves was in the last game in extra time to Colombia. And it's an old Chile team. They're past their good generation. They don't have any good young players that they can rely on to take those shots. The only one has been Brereton that plays in the Prem, but even then he's not going to have many opportunities against this Argentina defense with Romero, Martinez, DePaul, and McAllister. So I just do not think Chile have what it takes, especially away from home in Argentina, for him to get those 3 saves. He's going to have good defense in front of him to make his job a lot easier. So like Emiliano Martinez to go lower than 2.5 saves. As I was recording this and editing, I noticed Emiliano got bumped 2-2, so you can still take him there. Completely fine with that. I just do not think he's going to get that 3rd. And then my last player prop that I like is Gabriel Arias to go higher than 3.5 saves. On the other side for Chile, going up against Argentina, he played in the Copa. And then when they played each other in the Copa America, Arias was not the keeper; it was Bravo. But in that game, Argentina had 9 shots on target, 8 of those being saves, so went way over this mark. And Chile does not have a good defense; they're an average defense. They don't have any names like they did in the past. They don't have a good midfield like they did before, like with Arturo Vidal, for example. And even without Messi, they still have Julian Alvarez, Lautaro Martinez. They have Garnacho. They have Sule, McAllister, Enzo, DePaul. They have a great midfield. They have a great attack. They're going to be finding those shots. They're going to, if anything, now that if Messi's not going to be there, they're all going to try to prove themselves to see how they're going to play after he's gone, because it's not that far away. In the qualification games that Chile had away from home, the keeper went over in 2 out of 3 games. 5 on target for the opposition for Ecuador, 4 of those being saves. 6 on target for Venezuela, right under with 3 of those being saves, and then 7 on target for Uruguay, 4 of those being saves. So Chile allow a lot of shots on target, and we just need him to get 4 of those. And like I said, Argentina is just going to keep shooting. It's going to be a lot of defending for Chile, trying to at least get a draw in Argentina for this World Cup qualification. It's going to be a tough road for Chile. They're going to have to be defensive. So like Gabriel Arias to go higher than 3.5 saves. Before I get into the picks, I want to give a shout out to my partner, Underdog Fantasy. You can use code Maikito in the description. They'll match your first deposit up to $100. And not just that, for celebrating the NFL kicking off, they are being absolutely generous, and they're going to be having a full week of just promos, specials every day. For example, right now they have Travis Kelce, which is a free pick that'll be going on all week long. And starting on Monday, they're going to be giving 3 10% profit boost tokens that you can use on Monday. Then the next day, on Tuesday, is going to be a no sweat day where you'll be able to win your money back in credit. So if you lose your money on the bet that day that you make, you'll get your money back in general. Then it's Vulture Protection Wednesday, which the running backs are protected from touchdown vultures. And then on Thursday, which is NFL kickoff, they're going to be giving you a 30% profit boost token that you can use on a bet that day. And then on Friday, they're going to be having a mystery promo. So that's just going to be something that they could be a free pick. It could be profit boost. It could be money back. It could be anything on that Friday. Then on that Saturday, they're going to be giving 4 college football discounts that you can use that they're going to be putting out there throughout the whole day. And then on Sunday, they're going to be giving a free pick. So there's going to be a lot of promos this whole next week coming up to celebrate college starting up again. So it's a great way to get into Underdog if you're not there. Again, you can use call Maikito in the description if you want to use that and you're interested. So thank you, Underdog, and hopefully we can all make a lot of money this next week with NFL starting up. My first moneyline play that I do like is the Sweden moneyline against Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan conceded 17 goals in 8 games, and the table that they had earlier in the year last year, and Sweden scored 14 goals in those 8 games. They played each other twice. When Sweden played at home, they won 5-0 and easily destroyed them. And then when they did play them away, which is where they're playing now, they did lose 3-0. But it took a man of the match performance from the Azerbaijan keeper with 5 saves. He was the man of the match that game. He was the best player. He saved a lot of goals that Sweden should have scored. And the Sweden keeper Olsen had 0 saves with shots that really, honestly, they shouldn't have gone in. So they were just unlucky to not beat them in that game, and I do not expect the same thing to happen. Sweden is just a better team. They will definitely outscore them, in my opinion, if Azerbaijan can even get one. They have a lot of great players, like I mentioned earlier, with Gyökeres, who's on fire, Isak playing great for Newcastle. They have Kulusevski for Tottenham, and they have Elanga, who plays in Nottingham Forest. They just have a great attack. They have a good team, and I like them to beat Azerbaijan. You're getting good value. So I like the Sweden money line against Azerbaijan. And then my second money line play that I like is the Portugal money line against Croatia. They just have the much better team, much better youthful team in general. Great players that they're going to be having there for years to come. And Croatia's golden generation is done. Like I mentioned earlier, they had 1 loss and 2 draws in the Euros. They had a horrible tournament. They conceded 3 to Spain, 2 to Albania, 1 to Italy. And then Portugal have a really good defense. The problem that I did see Portugal had in the Euros was that they did struggle to score sometimes. But if you watch, it's because they really concentrated on just giving Ronaldo the ball. He would take all the free kicks, which he might do this game. But it just felt like it was just concentrated on them just finding Ronaldo, passing him the ball, making him score, since it was possibly his last Euros, instead of them just playing as a team how they normally would. But I think it's time for him to evolve and mature more as a player and try to get Portugal's next team to do better with him more as like a playmaker, or just not concentrate as much as him. I do expect him to play, but I do not expect it to be more concentrated on him than what it was in the Euros. And I think they will easily outscore Croatia. Like I said, Croatia is just not as good as they used to be. And in the Euro qualification, they won all 10 games. Did not lose a single game, did not draw a single game. They won all 10, and they only conceded 2 goals in those 10 games. So it's going to be a tough time for Croatia. I just think Portugal just has what it takes to have the much better team to beat this Croatian side. So I like the Portugal money line against Croatia. Thank you everybody for watching. Going over last video's picks, almost swept that day when it came to the player props. I went 6-1 on those. The ones that hit was Kvaratskhelia shots assisted, that hit. Castillo, that one hit as well. Pino clearances. Castillo wasn't added play, by the way. I forgot to mention that. Pino clearances hit. Leno saves hit. That one was a sweat as well. Holland, Harden 3.5 shots. He had another hat trick. That one hit for us as well. And then Lino Harden 1.5 shots. He always does good against Bilbao. Takes those 2 shots. That hit as well. Our only miss was Guido Rodriguez to go hard in 2 tackles. He didn't get a single one, which was strange. We had 2 DMPs with Leao and Jose Sa. Jose Sa just didn't play. They gave John Stone a chance on his debut, and then Leao came off the bench. And then when it came to money lines, there was 2-2 on those. Manchester City and Barcelona got their games they won theirs. Arsenal tied to Brighton, which was unfortunate. And Stuttgart also tied their game, so they didn't lose. They just couldn't pick up the win. Stuttgart blew a 2-0 win that they had, 2-0 lead, and Arsenal blew a 1-0 lead that they had. So they just couldn't get the win, which was unfortunate. But like I said, it was 6-1 player prop day, so close to sweeping those. It has been a couple days, and it is international break. So like I said, you could play lighter just because you never know how they're gonna play. But then that, if you guys like the video, please like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications, do all of that. And commenting helps boost the video out to more people. I also have the free Discord. Yes, I said free for those that don't know, where you can discuss lines with other people. People post their own slips and stuff like that. Great community that I'm trying to build over there. So if you want to join, that would be appreciated. And then I also have the YouTube memberships. If you want to support the channel in some other way, you get the plays before anybody else. And it's just a great way to support the channel. But then that, I hope everybody has a good night. I hope everybody has a good day, and we can cash out after our break tomorrow.